and gentlemen, it's Thiago. First video, we're going to do a reaction video reacting to Danny Vera, No Contact, why it's powerful and how to do it better. Saw this on my recommended. It's a dating channel. Not sure how much I'm going to agree with it. I watched a few videos of his before. Some things I like, some things I don't. We're gonna see.
Let's talk about the power of no contact and why it's crucial for you to use in situations where you are getting over a breakup, thinking about a girl nonstop, wanting a girl back, or you've been disrespected by a woman.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said there at the end about being disrespected. Respect comes naturally, right? You're a tall, big guy, ideally good looking as well. You're gonna find very few people in this world who are going to openly disrespect you. People are inherently scared. Everything always comes down to a physical level, right? Good-looking people, strong-looking people don't really get disrespected because they could likely, I'm not going to say it, but I think you understand where I'm getting at.
But I'm going to mainly focus on using no contact in the context of dealing with a woman. Before I start, if you aren't familiar with the concept of no contact, it is the idea that you cut off all communication with a woman after a breakup or in cases where a woman is acting flaky or disrespecting you. The aim of no contact.
Once you break up with a girl, that should be that. There should be no contact. I mean, that's perfectly well said. As well as when she's being flaky. If she's being flaky, then she's not that interested in you. And if she's not that interested in you, then, I mean, why are you even trying? And then again, the whole respect thing that we talked about, like, I mean, if that just happens, you know she's not the right one. Move on. No contact is a great start.
Contact isn't to be manipulative or petty, but to establish respect by having a boundary that shows you will not tolerate bad treatment and to preserve your dignity as a man.
Preserving dignity as a man. What does that even mean? What he said there before about establishing respect and calling out your boundaries. Yes, call out the boundaries that you feel that you want in your relationship, but it would be just better to show the boundaries that you want in the relationship, right? This whole trying to establish respect through words, or in this case, no contact, like, you know from the get-go if the girl respects you or not. There isn't much, you don't have to jump through hoops to get that, and you shouldn't have to.
By removing yourself from a situation that is no longer beneficial to you or a situation where you're being taken advantage of. Now, one of the biggest reasons no contact works so well is that women do not handle rejection well at all. In fact, in my experience, some women will get very crazy when they're rejected. And the reason...
Let me make it clear that everybody hates rejection. Could guys handle it better because they're more used to it? You could make that argument, but at the end of the day, it's just trauma farming. You're trauma maxing by going up to girls and approaching them when they're not interested. They don't even give you a signal, such as a smile or a look. I mean, this is why I'm against cold approaching in general, but nobody handles rejection well. Some people could be a little more resilient, no doubt, but you know, after being rejected 5-10 times, I would say even in your lifetime, that starts to rack up. You start to question yourself: am I good looking? Am I a suitable partner? I mean, that's natural. That would be a natural response. You would start to think, what is wrong with me? And that's okay, but men and women are kind of the same. I don't want you to get this is the masculine and this is the feminine. Makes things a lot more confusing than they need to be.
Another reason why women don't handle rejection well is because their imagination just runs wild. When you are gone from her life and out of sight, you could be doing anything. And that means you could be partying with Dan Bilzerian on a yacht with 20 models, or drooling on the couch watching bowling on TV. But the human brain is really good at lying to us and will usually think the worst, which is why one of my personal mantras is that your brain is lying. This is enhanced in women even more because most women have a higher level of neuroticism than a man does. And if you aren't familiar with the word neuroticism, it basically means someone who leans toward negative feelings like anxiety and self-doubt. It's a person.
In some sense, that is true, but it is simply just because they are more emotional in general. That's just their hormonal profile, and that's all right. But again, going back to her imagination runs wild. Anybody who's experienced this as a man also knows that their imagination runs wild. What is my girl doing? Is she out partying? Is she out doing this and that? I mean, this is natural too, especially when you have some sort of long distance or you're not in proximity with your partner, which is how it naturally should be. There would be none of this, I live here, you live there, we see each other every couple days, or don't even get me started on long distance. What the fuck is that? The imagination running wild is simply anxiety about the relationship manifesting itself because you don't have security. And I mean, why would you? The person that you love is, or supposedly did love, is not there with you. That's concern. That's not how relationships should be.
Personality trait that all of us have, but it's on a sliding scale, meaning that some people have more of it than others. In my experience, women tend to have higher levels of neuroticism than men. They tend to worry about the details of things more and what could go wrong in a scenario, etc. Because of this, when they don't know what you're doing and you've suddenly vanished from their life, they tend to think the worst and assume you're just out living it up. Again, this could be the furthest thing from the truth, but the mind plays tricks on us, and with a girl on the other side of no contact, it increases feelings of wanting to see what you're doing or wanting to talk to you. And girls are very curious. Many girls in my experience actually pride themselves on being detectives and able to sniff out drama or find out what a guy is up to. That's why the best strategy for wanting to get a girl back is to simply move on. It sounds counterintuitive, but many guys would benefit from moving on in order to attract a girl back. And honestly, I don't even recommend trying to get girls back, because if they're gone, it was for a reason, and you'll usually rediscover that reason later. But it is something.
That's very true. That's well said. That's probably the best return on investment for your peace of mind, right? Once it's done, and keep it that way. I understand when you're in love, there is an addiction, a chemical addiction, and that's okay. But I think once you become a little more aware of these things, and know that, I mean, once it's over, for whatever reason it was over, that it's done. That person should die in your head. They should no longer be around. You should no longer see them. No reading old text messages or saving the photos you guys took together, because then that essentially revives the person and reopens the wound. You essentially are doubling, quadrupling your trauma from what could have been something painful, yes, because a breakup is naturally traumatic and painful, but also could be a lot more calming if no contact.
Another reason why no contact is so powerful is that it shows that you can do better, and this is tough for a lot of women to deal with on an ego level. A man who is strong enough to walk away and know his value is the guy that both men and women respect. There's simply no bigger display of power and self-worth than walking away. It shows a lack of fear and a bold trust in yourself to find something better. And this is felt on an energy level by the girl, and you will often find girls chasing you down just off this alone. There's a quote I like from a great book called The Art of Seduction.
I've read it myself. The narrative that it plays is that you essentially seduce women because of the words you say, because of the game that you have. I don't want anyone to confuse the art of seduction with just how natural relationships should be, which is predicated on looks. The basis of the connection you have with the girl, the love she feels for you, the way your conversations go, how much she laughs around you, is almost all based on your looks, and works even more so in your favor if you're ideally tall.
States that we can endure feeling that another person has more talent or more money, but the sense that a rival is more desirable than we are, that is unbearable.
Because it's natural. Seeing someone who is more attractive than yourself is a show of them being genetically superior, which in a natural sense is almost all that matters, right? The language you speak, the more money you have, the bigger house you have, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I feel superior to Bill Gates, despite him having billions, just because the guy is hideous and he's old as fuck. And I mean, if anybody in their 20s is also watching this, you should feel the same way. All the billions he has, he would trade that in an instant for your youth, for your looks. This quote does make some sense.
And I love this quote to describe this concept, because the human ego is very fragile and weak in many ways, and when a girl senses that another girl may be more desirable than her, it can drive her crazy. And it's not a good feeling for anyone, male or female, to feel like they are being left behind for something better, and that's exactly what no contact communicates. Make sure you aren't using no contact from a scarcity mindset. You don't want to do no contact with the hopes of attracting the girl back. You want to do no contact because it's best for you to move on. And if she comes back, cool. If she doesn't, who cares? This is really, really important, because people feel the energy you give off and the stance that you are operating from, even if they're far away. If you are operating out of this place of scarcity and hoping a girl comes back by not talking to her, she's going to feel that on some level and either not come back, or if she does, you're gonna fumble the bag immediately once she senses you're actually insecure.
Okay, I like this video. It was good. Some things, I mean, like I said, I watched a few of this guy's videos before. I do like some things he says. Other things kind of cope. But I mean, he also sells what do you sell here? A one-on-one coaching program, and I guess that's fine. Do what you gotta do, make that dough. But he says here, I help busy men land more dates and improve their lives. I just don't find those two things synonymous. Getting more dates doesn't mean improving your life. The more girls you run through, the more girls you're with and don't have children with, shows how much of a failure you are. What you want is a girl who's in love with you. You feel it. There's no doubting that. And you guys have a beautiful family together. I understand that's not as simple as it was even 40 years ago. Let that be the standard, right? Don't settle for anything less, right? The girl should want you so bad that she wants to your genetic offspring. I would argue that's probably the biggest compliment you could ever receive. I want your children. That's fucking awesome, dude. Holy. So, I mean, Danny Vera, pretty good video. Give it like a 7 out of 10, right? I did like the thing he said about use no contact, not out of scarcity, but just because, I mean, it's good for you. But talking to other girls, you know, getting in the vicinity, right? Understanding that she's not the girl you broke up with or the girl that broke up with you is not the only girl in the world. That's fine, right? It does help you get over it, but don't do anything foolish. You know, don't sleep around, don't trauma farm, right? Don't get invested into girls that are obviously traumatized or have a body count themselves. That's something that most guys, I would argue, are not comfortable with. But anyways, guys, that was a video. I'm looking forward to doing more of these. But hope you enjoyed. Take care.